Let's talk about Alan for a moment here at 4:30. The painful conversations we've had to have all this week have often included the question of why.
It's a big question, and investigators say the motive for the Allen gunman to them right now, it's unclear, but officials do tell us that his online activity displayed an obsession for violence and for extremist ideology. Today, investigative reporter Brian New looking at a new trend that experts are worried about.
From the deadly car attack in Charlottesville.
There is no doubt about it. Today's threat is different.
To the shooting this week at the Allen Premier outlets.
We do know that he had neo-Nazi ideation.
Domestic terrorism is on the rise.
And to stay in front of it, we've got to adapt.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, over the last 10 years, domestic terrorism-related investigations have grown by 357%. Here in Texas, just last year, the Anti-Defamation League tracked more than 600 incidents of hate, ranging from a swastika sticker posted at a public park to the hostage situation at a Colleyville synagogue. And while many attacks are perpetrated by lone wolves, in the past 10 years, the number of hate groups in Texas tracked by the Southern Poverty Law Center has increased to 52, with the largest concentration in North Texas. But it's not just that there's more extremism that experts say is alarming. It's that many are now overlapping.
What may have been easily classified in prior years as, oh, this is a very strict, let's say, white supremacist threat, now may overlap with another type of threat actor. And that's a big concern.
Sam Liechtenstein is a risk analyst for the intelligence company RAIN. He tracks extremism. He says in recent years, various extreme groups, despite different beliefs, are coming together online and talking to each other. He says the danger is someone who now gets connected to one hate group is often exposed to many.
When you have different people from different groups talking to one another, they, of course, are able to take inspiration from one another, share ideas, and you see this commingling of extremist narratives that can really further someone towards violence.
This gunman is a very good example of this trend.
Jessica Reeves, the director of the Center on Extremism, has analyzed the online accounts linked to the Allen gunman. She says social media materials showed the gunman posted not just neo-Nazi beliefs, but also expressed anti-Muslim sentiments, anti-Asian sentiments, along with a hatred and distrust for women.
That makes it very difficult for those of us who track extremists and whose job it is to help stop these kinds of attacks. It makes it very difficult for us and others to understand motivation when we cannot discern one clear point of view.
Out here in Allen this afternoon, the focus of the investigation remains the gunman's motivation. And while it took investigators less than 72 hours to process the crime scene, Doug Nicole, understanding why is taking much longer.
Yeah, I think we all feel the same way, Brian. I do have a quick question. We're all trying to better understand the motive here. One observation that we understand has been made by police is that the Allen gunman was born in Dallas, someone of Hispanic background, but as you just mentioned and went through in your piece, his online activity is supportive of white supremacy beliefs. So anyone with a question out there trying to connect those two dots, any context there?
Yeah, so we actually raised this question to Mike German, a former FBI agent. He spent years undercover inside neo-Nazi skinhead groups. He told us it is not unusual for someone with a different racial background to sometimes align themselves with white supremacy. Here's what he had to say about it.
It's not necessarily as simple as many people will believe, and there is every reason why somebody who has a Hispanic background not only could be attracted to this ideology or philosophy, but also that person would be accepted within the white supremacist movement.
And this really ties into what we're talking about here of this overlapping extremism, all which makes it difficult to understand the motivation.
Yeah, we know you've talked to a lot of investigators and experts through the week. The question of why, we brought it up just a few minutes ago. It's a question on everybody's mind. What do they say, if anything, that can be done first to stop what's happening, which I don't know that any of us believe that that'll ever truly happen, or at least mitigate what's going on, the frequency that we're seeing these things?
Yeah, Doug, we asked that question to everyone we talked to, like what can be done about this? We asked that to investigators as well as experts. And one thing that came up time and again was how we all need to take responsibility and report suspicious activity. So we're going to give you one easy way you can do this, and that is through the iWatch Texas reporting system. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out a report online. Every report is then viewed and reviewed by law enforcement. There's also a phone number, Doug, that people can call. We have that phone number as well as a link to the iWatch site on our website.
Team effort in the end, right? Brian New, thank you so much. Good discussion that needs to be had.
Absolutely.